Hello, Goddess. Are you ready for powerful affirmations for women that will awaken within you the power to descend to the very depths of yourself and return completely transformed, more sovereign and more whole than you have ever been? Because today, at Wealth Frequency Flow, we are going to work together with one of the deepest, most complex, and most liberating archetypes of the sacred feminine that exists across all mythology. We are talking about Persephone, the queen of the underworld, the daughter of spring, the only goddess who inhabited two worlds with equal sovereignty. The story of Persephone is one of the oldest and most misunderstood in all of Greek mythology. She was the daughter of Demeter, the great goddess of harvest and fertility, and she lived on the surface of the earth in eternal spring, surrounded by flowers, by light, and by the protection of a mother who loved her above all things. She was young. She was luminous. She was radiant. And she did not yet know anything about the extraordinary depths that dwelt within her, until the day the ground opened. Hades, the god of the underworld, dragged her into the depths of the earth and made her queen of a kingdom she had never chosen. The earth above became barren. Demeter, devastated by her daughter's absence, withdrew her blessing from the harvest, and the entire world began to wither and die. Zeus intervened. An agreement was made. Persephone could return to the surface, but because she had tasted the seeds of the pomegranate in the underworld, she would forever be divided between the two realms. 6 months above in light and life, 6 months below in silence and darkness. And that is how the seasons of the year were born. But here is what the shallow version of this story does not tell you. Persephone did not return from the underworld as the same young woman who had descended. She returned as a queen. She descended as a daughter and returned as a sovereign. She descended as one who did not know the darkness and returned as one who governed it. And most powerful of all, she became the only deity in the Greek pantheon who moved freely between life and death, between light and shadow, between what is visible and what is hidden. Because when you descend to the underworld and survive, you do not simply return. You return with the keys. And it is exactly here that the archetype of Persephone can change your life completely. Because every woman listening to this right now knows the underworld. Perhaps yours was a devastating loss. A relationship that broke you in two. A dark phase that lasted so long, you began to think the light would never come back. A version of yourself that was forced to die so that a truer one could be born. A crossing you did not choose, but that arrived anyway, and demanded everything from you. You descended. And probably while you were down there, in the dark, not knowing when or if it would end, you did not feel like a queen in training. You felt lost. But Persephone teaches us that the underworld is not the end of the story. It is where the real story begins. It is where the girl meets the queen she always was. It is where the inner light becomes more brilliant than any light from outside, because it was forged in the deepest darkness. She does not ask you to deny what hurt. She invites you to honor every layer of your descent as the sacred process that transformed who you were into who you are capable of being. To heal, not in order to forget, but in order to integrate. To become so whole within yourself that the darkness you crossed becomes the greatest power you carry. Subscribe to the Wealth Frequency Flow channel and activate the bell right now, because here we work together with the ancestral energy of the most sacred forces of the feminine to reprogram your subconscious, integrate your shadow, and awaken within you a version so sovereign and so complete that the world around you will feel the difference before you even say a word. But I need to warn you. Persephone is not for the woman who wants a comfortable and costless transformation. She is for the woman who is ready to honor how far she descended, understand what she learned down there, and finally use it as the most extraordinary power she has ever carried. If you are ready to let the crossing through darkness become the greatest portal of transformation and rebirth of your life, stay until the end. Persephone is waiting to give you the keys to your own kingdom. I honor every descent I have made into my own underworld as a sacred act of courage and not of weakness. I am the woman who descended to the very depths of herself and returned with the keys to her own power. I heal any shame associated with the dark phases of my life and recognize them as my greatest school. I undo the belief that going through suffering made me less when in truth it made me infinitely more. I am the manifestation of the woman who transformed every wound into wisdom and every loss into an expansion of consciousness. I allow myself to honor my crossing without needing to minimize it so that others feel comfortable. My capacity to feel deeply is the same capacity that allows me to be reborn, completely transformed. I honor Persephone within me, the part that descended, survived, and returned even more powerful than she was before. I free myself from any narrative that my difficult past defines me as a victim rather than as a queen who survived. I am living proof that it is possible to cross the underworld and emerge from it with more light, more strength, and more sovereignty. I am in constant process of rebirth, and every phase of my life contains the seed of the next version of me. Like Persephone, I know that winter is not death. It is preparation for the most extraordinary spring I have ever lived. I heal any impatience with my own process of transformation and trust in the sacred timing of my blossoming. I undo the belief that I need to hurry out of the darkness when sometimes it is there that the greatest healing happens. I am the manifestation of the woman who embraces every season of her life, knowing that none of them are permanent. I allow myself to be in winter without pretending it is summer, in grief without pretending it is celebration, in transformation without pretending it is stability. My rebirth is real, it is deep, and it is happening in layers that go far beyond what my mind can follow. I honor every phase of transition as a sacred portal between who I was and who I am becoming. I free myself from any rush to arrive quickly at the transformed version without fully living the process of transformation. I trust that my spring is coming and that it will be all the more beautiful for everything that winter taught me. I integrate my shadow with love, with curiosity, and with the courage to look at what I avoided facing. The parts of me that I sent to the underworld deserve to be brought back and received with compassion. I heal any inner fragmentation caused by rejecting parts of me that I considered unacceptable or shameful. I undo the habit of dividing myself into acceptable and unacceptable parts as if I needed to be sorted before deserving love. I am the manifestation of the whole woman who gathers every fragment of herself and brings them back home with gentleness. I allow myself to know my shadow without being consumed by it, for awareness is what transforms the unconscious into power. My wholeness is my greatest strength, and it includes every part of me that was ever sent into the dark. I honor the complexity of my nature as an expression of the depth of the soul that I am. I free myself from any performance of lightness or positivity that prevents me from integrating what is real and deep. I am light and shadow, spring and winter, ascent and descent, and it is exactly this totality that makes me sovereign. I am the queen of my own underworld, and that means no darkness within me has power over me. What I govern does not govern me, and I consciously choose what rules my inner life. I heal any sensation of being swept away by emotions, patterns, or thoughts that arise from the deepest layers. I undo any unconscious loyalty to suffering as if it were my most truthful identity. I am the manifestation of the woman who learned to name, to feel, and to integrate without being destroyed by what emerges. I allow myself to descend intentionally into my depths instead of waiting to be dragged into them without choice. My inner sovereignty grows every time I choose consciously instead of reacting automatically. I honor my power to transform any internal experience into fuel for my expansion and growth. I free myself from any fear of my own depths, for it is there that my most extraordinary power is kept. I am the queen who governs her darkness with wisdom and uses her light to illuminate what was hidden. I allow myself to close cycles with the same sovereignty with which Persephone moves between worlds. Releasing what was is not loss. It is the most powerful act of creating space for what is still coming. I heal any attachment to versions of myself that have already fulfilled their purpose and need to be honored and released. I undo the fear that closing a cycle means losing a part of me when in truth it means becoming more. I am the manifestation of the woman who closes with gratitude, begins with courage, and moves between phases with sovereign grace. I allow myself to not know exactly who I will be on the other side of transformation, and to trust the process even so. Every portal I cross reveals a layer of me that could only be accessed from the other side. I honor the farewells of my life as sacred acts of respect for what was and for what is arriving. I free myself from any need to control the speed or the form of my transformation and surrender to the sacred rhythm of my blossoming. I move between cycles with the confidence of one who knows that every season has its purpose and its beauty. I carry within me the wisdom of the depths that only one who has descended to the underworld can know. My experience of what was difficult has become my greatest emotional and spiritual intelligence. I heal any desire to erase what was painful when it is exactly that which makes me wise and compassionate. I undo the belief that I would need to have avoided my crossings in order to now be a more whole woman. I am the manifestation of the woman who used every descent as an initiation and every rebirth as an expansion of consciousness. I allow myself to be a guide for other women who are in their own descent, because I know the way back. My wisdom is real, it is embodied, and it was won in the depths of my own human experience. I honor what I learned in the silence, in the darkness, and in the waiting as teachings that no surface could have given me. I free myself from any shame about what I went through, and embrace my story as the map of the extraordinary woman I became. I am wiser, deeper, and more compassionate for everything I crossed, and that wisdom is a gift to the world. I reconnect with my cyclical nature and honor the natural rhythms of expansion and contraction within me. Like the earth that follows the seasons, I too have my times of blossoming and my times of retreat. I heal any self-judgment during periods of contraction, as if they were signs of failure or regression. I undo the culture that taught me that only visible and constant growth has value, and I celebrate also what grows in silence. I am the manifestation of the woman who moves in sacred rhythms and not in artificial urgencies imposed from outside. I allow myself to draw my energy inward when I need to, without feeling guilty for not always being in expansion mode. My inner cycles are intelligent, wise, and always bring me exactly where I need to be at the right moment. I honor inner winter periods as necessary and fertile rather than urgent and to be overcome. I free myself from any comparison between my rhythm and the rhythm of other women, for my blossoming has its own sacred timing. I am a cyclical being in harmony with the rhythms of nature, and that harmony is my deepest strength. I am reborn with every dawn, with a renewed awareness of who I choose to be on this new day. Each morning is my personal spring, an invitation from Persephone to emerge lighter and more whole than yesterday. I heal any weight from the past that I carry unnecessarily into days that deserve to be lived with total presence. I undo the habit of waking already burdened by old stories that color the new with the shades of what has already been. I am the manifestation of the woman who uses the power of daily new beginnings to build the life she chose in a consistent way. I allow myself to be different today from who I was yesterday, without needing justification or explanation for anyone. My capacity to begin again is unlimited, and every new beginning is an act of faith in my own capacity for transformation. I honor the present as the only place where my life really happens, and I choose to inhabit it fully. I free myself from any rigid identity about who I am that prevents me from becoming who I am being called to be. I am reborn, I flourish, I transform, and this movement is my most sacred and most truthful nature. I use the power of the law of attraction with the awareness of one who knows that the most magnetic field is that of one who is whole. My inner transformation creates waves in the energetic field that align the reality around me in ways I cannot yet fully see. I heal any disconnection between what I desire to manifest and the beliefs that still inhabit my deepest subconscious. I undo every mental program that silently contradicts what I declare aloud as my intention. I am the manifestation of the woman whose inner world and outer world are in perfect coherence and harmony. I allow myself to receive what I manifested without sabotaging it, by unconsciously believing I do not deserve it. My power of attraction grows in the same proportion as I become more whole, more integrated, and more aligned with myself. I honor the process of inner alignment as the most important work I do to manifest the life I desire. I free myself from any belief that the transformation I seek out there can precede the transformation that needs to happen in here. I am a magnetic field of extraordinary realities, and my inner healing is the greatest magnet I have ever activated. I am Persephone in human form, the woman who descended, who survived, who learned, and who returned sovereign. My complete story, with all its descents and rebirths, is the most beautiful and most powerful expression of who I am. I heal any need to present to the world only the luminous parts of me, while hiding the ones that were forged in the dark. I undo the illusion that my strength comes from never having suffered, when in truth it comes from having suffered and chosen to transform. I am the manifestation of the woman who integrated her complete story and became whole exactly because of it. I allow myself to be seen in all my complexity, in my light and in my shadow, in my strength and in my vulnerability. My sovereignty is not the absence of wounds. It is the capacity to honor them and to extract from them the power that they contain. I honor every version of me that existed before this because without her, I would not be the extraordinary woman I am now. I free myself from any inner incompleteness and recognize myself as whole, as sovereign, and as completely capable of living the life I chose. I am transformation, I am rebirth, I am Persephone, and my kingdom begins within me right now. Pause here for a moment. Breathe deeply. Place your hands on your heart and feel. Are you feeling it? That deep and silent sensation that something within you is moving. Not at the surface, not in the parts that are easy to look at, but in the layers you have carried hidden for a long time, the ones that perhaps have never received light, attention, or permission to exist. This is Persephone working in your subconscious right now, and she does not work slowly. She works in the depths where real changes happen, where the oldest patterns reside, and where the queen you are capable of being is waiting to emerge. I need you to do something very important at this exact moment. Leave a like on this video right now. It is not a small gesture. It is your decree that you are ready for this crossing, that you choose to honor what descended in you instead of continuing to avoid it, that you decide to look at what was in the dark and govern it instead of being governed by it. If you have not yet subscribed to the Wealth Frequency Flow channel, this is your moment. Subscribe and activate the bell, because every activation you miss is a layer of your power that remains asleep, waiting to be awakened. And click on the card that is appearing on the screen right now. There is an activation with Hecate, the guardian of the portals and queen of magic, that will deepen even further what Persephone began to move within you today. Because Persephone and Hecate walk together in myth and in wisdom. It was Hecate who guided Persephone back to the surface after her descent, and she can guide you too. The deepest affirmations are still coming. The ones that go straight into the most resistant subconscious, into the shadow you most avoid looking at, and into the sovereign power you have not yet fully dared to claim as your own. Now let's continue. Persephone still has much to reveal to you. I honor my capacity to move between worlds as a sacred gift and not as a curse. Being the woman who knows both light and darkness makes me the most complete and the wisest of all realms. I heal any feeling of being divided between versions of myself and integrate everything into one single sovereign presence. I undo the belief that I need to choose between being sensitive and being strong when I am both simultaneously. I am the manifestation of the woman who inhabits her totality with comfort, with pride, and with full awareness. I allow myself to be paradoxical, complex, and multifaceted without needing to simplify myself for the comfort of others. My capacity to hold opposites within me is my greatest ability for leadership and for presence. I honor every face of myself, the radiant and the shadowed, the expansive and the inward, the queen and the beginner. I free myself from any fragmentation and recognize myself as a powerful, whole, and completely sovereign totality. I move between all aspects of myself with the fluidity of one who knows that each of them is sacred and necessary. I allow myself to reclaim my voice, my story, and my power without asking anyone's permission to do so. Like Persephone, who became queen of a kingdom she did not choose, I create sovereignty wherever I am placed. I heal any silencing I internalized that still operates within me as automatic censorship and self-censorship. I undo the belief that my voice is too much, that my presence is excessive, or that my power intimidates in a negative way. I am the manifestation of the woman whose voice is necessary, whose power is welcome, and whose presence transforms the environments she inhabits. I allow myself to speak even when I tremble, to act even when I am afraid, and to lead even when I am still learning. My voice is sacred, my perspective matters, and the world needs what I have to offer exactly as I am. I honor every time I fall silent as information about where I still need to grow, and every time I speak as proof of my growth. I free myself from any voluntary erasure of myself that I perform in order to occupy less space than I deserve. I am total presence, full voice, and sovereign power, and nothing and no one has the authority to diminish that. I reconnect with my deep intuition, which is the most reliable compass I have ever possessed. The voices from the depths that I learned to hear in my descent are now my greatest guide. I heal any distrust of my intuition caused by times when I ignored it and regretted the consequences. I undo the habit of overriding the voice of reason over the voice of instinct when instinct always knew first. I am the manifestation of the woman who hears, trusts, and acts according to what her deepest interior communicates. I allow myself to know, without knowing how I know, to feel without knowing where it comes from, and to trust without needing proof first. My intuition is sharp, precise, and was deepened by every crossing that took me beyond the surface of things. I honor the inner whispers that arrive before the mind can formulate questions or construct arguments. I free myself from any external pressure that makes me doubt what I know with deep inner certainty. I listen to my intuition, I trust my perception, and I act with the confidence of one who knows the way from the inside. I transform myself with intention, with awareness, and with the power of one who actively chooses her own evolution. My transformation does not happen to me. It happens through me, and with my full and conscious participation. I heal any passivity toward my own life, as if it were something that happens without my active co-creation. I undo the pattern of waiting for circumstances to change before I change, instead of being the first to move. I am the manifestation of the woman who is the most active and most powerful force within her own story. I allow myself to be the initiator of the changes I wish to see in my life, without waiting for perfect conditions. My power to co-create my reality is real, it is active, and it expands every time I choose consciously instead of reacting automatically. I honor my capacity to change, to grow, and to become increasingly complete versions of myself. I free myself from any belief that I am a product of my circumstances and recognize myself as their creator. I am pure creative force, and my life is the most extraordinary work of art I have ever produced. I allow myself to receive abundance in all its forms as the natural extension of my inner expansion. The woman who emerges from the underworld transformed carries a frequency of attraction that did not exist before the descent. I heal any block to receiving that operates within me as a belief that I do not deserve what arrives when it arrives. I undo any fear of abundance disguised as humility that makes me reject what was manifested for me. I am the manifestation of the woman whose inner kingdom, so rich and so vast, mirrors itself in concrete abundance in the outer reality. I allow myself to prosper without guilt, to grow without fear, and to receive without the urgency of immediately justifying why I deserve it. My prosperity is the natural reflection of who I became after every initiation that life brought me. I honor my financial, emotional, spiritual, and creative expansion as different expressions of the same blossoming. I free myself from any belief that the spiritual woman and the prosperous woman are incompatible figures. I am sovereign in every realm of my life, in the inner and in the outer, in the spiritual and in the material. I tend to my energy with the same wisdom that Persephone uses to move between worlds without losing herself in any of them. My energy is a sacred resource, and I consciously choose where, how, and with whom I invest it. I heal any habit of giving myself completely without maintaining sufficient reserves for my own nourishment and care. I undo the pattern of giving from a pool that never gets replenished and learn to give from the surplus of a source I tend to. I am the manifestation of the woman who nourishes herself first, in order to nourish the world from a place of true fullness. I allow myself to say no to what drains my energy, with the same ease with which I say yes to what expands me. My energetic sovereignty is the foundation of all my capacity to love, to create, and to manifest. I honor my need for retreat, for silence, and for renewal as just as important as my need for connection. I free myself from any guilt for protecting my energy from the people, the environments, and the situations that diminish me. I am a sacred energetic field that I tend to, protect, and nourish with intention and with constant love. I free myself from any identity built on pain and embrace the identity of the woman who transformed it into power. I am not what I suffered. I am what I became after suffering, and that is infinitely more powerful and more beautiful. I heal any attachment to a victim identity that was once necessary and that now keeps me smaller than I am. I undo the narrative that I was broken, when in truth I was initiated into a level of consciousness that the surface could never teach. I am the manifestation of the woman who rewrote her story from the perspective of the queen, and not the prisoner. I allow myself to see myself through the eyes of one who emerged victorious from every descent without minimizing how difficult it was to get here. My most truthful identity is that of the woman who transforms, who grows, and who continues choosing expansion even when it is difficult. I honor the woman I was in every phase without clinging to any of them as if it were my final definition. I free myself from any limited version of myself and recognize myself in the vastness of everything I am capable of being. I am vast, I am deep, I am sovereign, and that is my most real and most permanent identity. I connect with the sacred feminine in its deepest and most transformative expression. Persephone is proof that the feminine is not only flower and spring, it is also root, it is underworld, it is initiation. I heal any version of femininity that was imposed on me as passivity, as mandatory softness, or as the absence of power. I undo the idea that being feminine means always being light, always being available, and always being pleasant for everyone. I am the manifestation of the sacred feminine in its most complete form, containing spring and winter, life and death, blossoming and retreat. I allow myself to be a woman who knows her depths and governs them with sovereignty and with wisdom. My feminine is strong. It is wise. It is cyclical. And it is capable of creating life both in blossoming and in darkness. I honor all expressions of my feminine without ranking the ones that are more socially accepted above the ones that are more truthful. I free myself from any performance of femininity that distances me from my most authentic and most powerful nature. I am the sacred feminine in all its complexity, in all its beauty, and in all its untamable power. I allow myself to be guided by the wisdom that comes from the depths, the kind that the surface could never give me. The revelations that arrive in silence, in retreat, and in phases of darkness are the most transformative I have ever received. I heal any devaluing of what I learn in my most difficult phases as if they were less valuable than what I learn in the easy ones. I undo the preference for visible growth and celebrate also the invisible expansion that happens in the depths. I am the manifestation of the woman who values equally the wisdom of light and the wisdom of darkness. I allow myself to seek the answers that need to be found in my deepest interior instead of looking for them only outside. My connection with my inner wisdom deepens every time I choose silence over noise and presence over distraction. I honor the inner whispers that arrive before the mind can formulate questions or construct arguments. I free myself from any external pressure that makes me doubt what I know with deep inner certainty. I listen to my intuition. I trust my perception. And I act with the confidence of one who knows the way from the inside. I flourish with the same inevitability of spring after the longest and darkest winter. My blossoming is not an accident. It is the direct consequence of everything I did with what life gave me. I heal any doubt about whether my spring will truly arrive when every descent has its corresponding ascent. I undo any belief that I am the exception for whom transformation does not work, or for whom the light does not return. I am the manifestation of the woman for whom spring always returns richer and more beautiful for everything that winter nourished in silence. I allow myself to anticipate with joy the blossoming that is coming, even if I cannot yet see it completely. The seed I planted in my deepest descents is sprouting right now into realities that will surprise me with their beauty. I honor the complete process of my transformation, from seed to root, from root to sprout, from sprout to full bloom. I free myself from any impatience that makes me want to skip stages of my sacred blossoming. I flourish, I expand, I emerge, and my inner spring is here. It is real, and it is more radiant than it has ever been. I carry the key to every realm I have inhabited, and that gives me access to a wisdom that few possess. Having lived in the underworld and on the surface, made me a woman who understands life in its most complete dimensions. I heal any desire to erase the darkest phases of my story in order to present a more palatable version of myself. I undo the shame of having gone through what I went through and transform that crossing into my most valuable credential. I am the manifestation of the woman who uses her complete story as a source of power, of connection, and of service to the world. I allow myself to be a compassionate witness to the journey of other women, because I have been in the underworld, and I know the way back. My experience of the depths makes me capable of accompanying other people in their own descents, without fear of what we will find there. I honor the extraordinary privilege of being a woman who knows both light and darkness, and knows how to move between them. I free myself from any underuse of the wisdom I have won, and offer it to the world with generosity and with purpose. I am Persephone. I am the bearer of the keys. I am the queen who descended and returned, and my power is completely available right now. I open myself completely to the frequency of transformation and rebirth that Persephone carries and transmits. The energy of the queen of the underworld flows through me, integrating every layer that still waits to be recognized and honored. I heal all resistance to my own transformation that dwells within me as attachment disguised as identity. I undo every barrier I built between who I was and who I am being called to become, and I cross that portal with courage. I am the manifestation of the deepest and most complete rebirth I have ever experienced on this journey. I allow myself to be moved, transformed, and completely reoriented by the 528 Hz frequency that resonates in every cell and in every layer of my being. My vibrational frequency of transformation rises with every affirmation and creates a new reality that corresponds to the woman I am becoming. I honor Persephone for showing me that the most difficult crossings are exactly the ones that deliver us the most extraordinary crowns. I free myself from any vibrational frequency of stagnation, of fear of change, or of attachment to versions of me that have already completed their cycle. I am transformation. I am rebirth. I am the spring that emerges from the deepest winter. And my kingdom begins here, begins now, begins within me. You made it to the end. Congratulations on this achievement. You managed to set aside your ego, your anxiety, and all the energy that pulls us back when we want to evolve. You looked at yourself, valued yourself, and loved yourself, and that is precious. Do you know what it means to have stayed until the end of this activation? It means that some part of you already knew you needed this, that within you there was a layer waiting to be seen, a depth waiting to be honored, a queen waiting to be recognized even if your mind still had doubts at the beginning. That is Persephone. She does not invite you with easy promises. She calls you with the truth. And the women who hear that calling are exactly the women who have already descended far enough to know that what emerges from the underworld is always more powerful than what entered. Place your hands on your heart right now. Feel what is different. It may be a solidity where there was instability. It may be a clarity where there was confusion. It may be a silent recognition that you always were more than you thought you were, and that the most difficult crossings of your life were in truth your greatest initiations. That is real transformation happening within you right now. And like all true transformation, it needs repetition, intention, and continuity to become the new permanent foundation of your life. That is why I need to ask you 3 simple things right now. The first is to leave your like on this video as a decree that you are ready to emerge from the underworld as the queen you have always been. The second is to write in the comments, "I am the queen of my own kingdom," and leave that decree registered as a sacred anchor in the energetic field of this video. The third is to share it with that woman in your life who is in her own descent and who needs to know that spring is coming. Because the greatest expression of Persephone's power is exactly this: women who have already emerged extending their hand to those who are still on the way back. If you have not yet subscribed to the Wealth Frequency Flow, click subscribe right now and activate the bell, because every week there is a new activation with the energy of the most powerful goddesses of the sacred feminine, affirmations for women, healing frequencies, and everything that will continue reprogramming your subconscious toward the sovereign life you came here to live. Persephone descended to the underworld without a choice, and returned a queen by her own choice. You will return too, more whole, wiser, more sovereign, with the keys to every realm you crossed, and with the unshakable certainty that no darkness you have ever inhabited had the power to extinguish the light that you are. I believe in you. It is done. It is done. It is done.